Bearcat Nation, we are
Ho, ho,
live.
ho. Ho, ho, ho.
I couldn't possibly bring you Christmas content that didn't include one of my closest, dearest friends in the Bearcat community. None other than Brian Fox. B Fox, Bearcat Sports Radio. Look, so I don't think people understand, Brian.
You don't.
5-6 years ago, this beat was a whole lot different, man.
It was.
There weren't a whole lot of people that really wanted to have anything to do with this beat, right?
Not a lot of intrigue when we were going down to the wire against Tennessee Tech or whoever it was. It was
We
Tennessee
were there.
State.
Tennessee State. Whatever, whoever the hell it was.
Awful team. Awful performance by the Bearcats then.
But guess what?
We're on the moon now.
Everybody wants to be involved now. I've been at practice. There's people I haven't I've been on this beat 16 years.
Yeah.
There have been people at practice that I'm like, "Hi, I'm Chad. Nice to meet you."
Yeah.
And you know, you're a busy guy. You're at practice every opportunity you can get. You or
Yep.
Andy or somebody from Bearcat Sports Radio is there every opportunity you can get.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are there this week that are like, I don't know you, but it's nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And welcome to
Hey.
the beat.
Yeah. And we'll see you anytime the team struggles.
They'll be gone, of course.
They'll be gone. They'll peace out. But we'll be there. We're not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. Are you kidding me?
What the hell am I? What else am I gonna do?
To whom else shall I go? That's a gospel statement right there.
Right.
And that answer is Lucas Fickle.
I think Brady had the perfect answer for you about all of this, right? Do you know the song that they've been playing in the locker room over the past month or so?
What?
Jefferson Starship. That's a hint.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest. I hate 70s rock. Now don't hate me for it, but
Okay. Well,
that ain't my thing.
We might get
Play it, man.
DMCA'd. We might get DMCA'd, but I'm gonna
hey.
try to pull it up.
Hey, last place they want to see me is in a courtroom, Chad. Trust me.
I'm gonna pull it up. There's probably gonna be a commercial that I have to listen to. Yep. Oh yeah. There it is. There's the commercial.
So while you're doing that, I'm going to talk about these powdered sugar donuts here.
You're excited for this?
Well, so there are powdered sugar donuts that come in a box, and then there's
We built this city on rock and roll. Built this city. We built this city on rock and roll.
See,
great song. That is a good
that's what
song.
they've been playing in the locker room for like the past month. We
Do you
built
know
this,
what I've been playing?
we built this goddamn city, B Fox.
Do you know what I've been singing? I'm walking on sunshine.
Yeah. Look,
Do you know
man,
why? Because we're on the moon.
Brian,
Mhm.
you've been in this your whole life. I've been in this my whole life. I started going to games with my dad as a kid, like as a little kid. Mostly basketball back then, but a little bit of football.
Mhm. Yeah.
This
I
is
recall. Let me tell you.
unfathomable.
Let me tell you one of mine. So I spent a little portion of this evening searching for Nick Saban videos. Okay,
Right.
because it is my intention that both in the run up to the game and during the game, I'm gonna take some shots at Nick. Right.
Yeah.
I found a video of him making a player cry. I found a video where apparently Nick's wife Terry and a group of his family members ratted out a guy to security. I'm in the web. I'm just
You're gonna
in
get
the
kicked
web.
out of the Cotton Bowl, B Fox.
Hey, here's what you're really gonna like. Is I went to a place in Lebanon called Liberty Western, and it's a It's a rootin', catootin',
Rootin'
shootin'.
tootin'.
Yeah. And I got myself a black felt Stetson. I
Nice.
bought a bolo tie. My drip at the Cotton Bowl is going to be unrivaled.
I would expect nothing less. Nothing less.
Yeah.
The powdered donut
Delicious
part of a balanced
donut.
breakfast.
Delicious. Yeah, I mean, it's morning. I got
What
a
do you-
drum
what do you-
kit here to install.
Yeah, you got a drum kit. What else are you building? So I'm in the clear almost. Like, so I've got something special happening tomorrow.
Okay. What you got?
We have told Kelsey for 2 weeks that she's not going to the Cotton Bowl,
Oh, yeah.
and she is big mad. So we have told her my dad and I are driving to the Cotton Bowl. You know, I've got work to do. There's not going to be, you know, it's not going to be possible that you're going to be able to go with us.
Speaking of
But-
memories, I recall hanging out with your dad in Memphis. That was
My
fun.
dad's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you've got to meet my dad,
Yeah,
especially
great.
with what Eau Claire Cat did to us on that trip in Memphis. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. He had you walking all over the city.
we walked
We did
we walked a
basically
marathon
walking
that
tour.
night.
We
We
did a
walked-
walking tour of Memphis.
All I said was like, you know, we should probably like get an Uber to like all I wanted was to get an Uber to the first spot, Brian.
Yeah.
I was cool with walking the rest of the way.
Yeah.
I was like, should we get a ride to the first spot? And he was like, no, the first spot's like a block away. 7 blocks later. Ooh, look at that. That looks good. Is that what brand?
Go back to
Drum-
bed. Yeah, shut the door and go back to bed.
What brand drum kit is that?
We have an intervener and interloper right now.
Oh, is it the oldest one or the middle one?
Oldest one.
Yeah. You got to shut up, bro.
No, he's fine. It's
Well, I mean,
a
you're
little
tapping
bit-
it like it's loud.
yeah, I'm not gonna be quiet. But they're kind of used to that.
Is that the drum set is for the youngest one?
It is, but
The oldest one's
small.
gonna play it, right? If you need lessons, I
too-
got a guy. I got a couple guys.
look how small this is. No.
It's a
This
4
is-
tom. Looks like a
Yeah.
4 tom.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what that means.
I was a drummer back in the day. I'm familiar with the
You were?
drumming. Yes, I was.
I did not know that.
Yeah. My
Uh,
uncle who I was with tonight. Are you familiar with DCI? Drum Corps
Hmm.
International.
No.
It's like professional marching band.
Okay.
So my uncle is heavily involved in that world. He writes the drill, like the marching. And he also he was the band director at Beechwood High School and at Milford for a long time. Milford had a phenomenal band that went to like nationals every year. And my uncle was the band director.
Nice.
Yeah.
I can't hear the phrase band director and not think about The Godfather,
That's
where
fair.
he says that he's not gonna be slapped around by some band director. Great scene.
I played No Limit Hold'em with my family tonight, and I got screwed. B Fox.
Yeah.
I played the best game, right?
hmm
But my cousin's husband, my cousin is like 4 months pregnant. She's a delightful woman. I love her to death. She was ready to go, right? Like, let's go. So he had to keep going all in with crap hands so that they could leave. And he won all of those crap hands.
Man, he was on tilt. He was on tilt and winning.
And then when it got down to head, he was up like, you know, it was like 70-30 because he had dominated my uncle, my cousin, and my cousin's husband and took all their chips
Yeah.
with terrible hands because he was just trying to leave so his pregnant wife didn't hate him.
Let me ask you something, Chad. Okay.
Ask me.
I want to get real with you here.
Let's get real.
What's the dollar amount that gets you over here to put this together? Because I'm not optimistic.
I can help you.
Yeah.
I can help you.
There's just a lot of pieces here.
You gotta put the lid on, right? And you gotta line up the nuts, and then you gotta screw. But it's like have you ever put together a trampoline?
No.
Your kids don't have a trampoline?
We've had some bad experiences with trampolines.
So what I'm saying is,
the youngest has broken his ankle twice. Well, broke his ankle once and then broke his arm once.
so what I'm saying is, when you put the top on, right, and you put the skin on, then you put the top on. You want to go cross section. You don't want to go like right to left. You don't want to go clockwise, counterclockwise. You want to do like, okay, I'm going to do this one, then I'm going to do that one, and then this one, and then that one, and this one, and then that one. Does that make sense?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, not really. I mean, I'm just.
No, I get
I think
it.
I've got probably 7 hours ahead of me here.
Oh, you're in terrible shit. If you're just now starting this at 1:05 in the morning, what the hell have you been doing all night?
Well, did you see my jokes on Twitter?
Yes.
I don't know if you saw
I did.
The Santa Claus stuff. Hey,
Yeah.
Is that Santa a gangster or what? That Santa was hardcore.
So while you're doing this, while we're watching you put together this drum set that you have no chance to put together by morning. Yeah, that's not a drum head. That's cardboard. Okay. Yeah, you can get rid of that.
It's cardboard. Okay.
Can the Bearcats beat Alabama?
Oh, of course they can.
How?
Yeah.
How do the Bearcats beat Alabama?
Well, let me tell you why they can't. They can't because every position group is, all those kids are going to play in the NFL. Okay, it's an NFL team. But it's a game. It's a game where we have a track record of being elite preparers. Luke Fickell,
Correct.
if he's anything, he is one of the most methodical, organized, administrative, and thorough coaches in the game. Maybe one of the most, all of those things in adulthood, right? It's one of the most responsible adults going, it seems. So it's hard for me to suppose that he's going to have our team walking into this in unprepared and not ready for what they have. Can I hopefully nobody minds if I dump on a Heisman winner, but he is a young quarterback and he had some really rough games early in the season. I watched the entire Texas A&M game, which was at College Station. And I'll tell you, Alabama just they played behind the whole time. They came back kind of at last second and brought it close. But really, it was Texas A&M from kickoff until the end. They're a team that if you can get ahead of them in the first half, and they're not going to have Mechie. They do have elite receivers that kind of slot in right behind him.
Jameson Williams is awesome, but
he's so fast.
He's the only one left of their elite group, right? So you've got one of their elite guys against what is clearly considered the best secondary in the country.
Yes. Yeah. And look, I think it's this is definitely a bigger test than Notre Dame, but without question. the Notre Dame team that we found on
Sure.
October 2nd was hobbled at the quarterback position and completely unprepared. That was my read. I mean, we had elite preparation, and we had a great offensive game plan that game, and we executed. And we could have, I think, hung a lot more points on the scoreboard in South Bend. But there's, as you well know, the strategy is once you're up in the second half, to just try to choke them out.
Yeah, get the game, especially in a game like that on the road at their place.
Yep.
Trying to break a 26-game winning streak, that's the head. That's the drum head. That's the drum head.
Is that the thing you were saying? You stretch from right to left?
Yeah, you put
Okay.
that on top of the, the tom, as I called it.
Mm-hmm.
Then you put the rim on top of it, and you stretch it from side to side, not clockwise or counterclockwise.
Okay.
Because if you stretch it clockwise, it'll mess up the other side while you're doing it. Fair?
Okay.
I'm trying to help. I'm just trying to help as much as possible.
Yeah.
I played drums for a long time, man. I was a drummer.
2 arms?
Uh,
2 arms? 1 arm?
2. I have 2. So I
Okay.
played with both.
Guy from
I
Def
didn't-
Leppard just had 1.
I didn't. Well, he lost one in a crash, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean,
Well, Isn't that?
he
isn't
would
that
have
from a movie?
preferred to play with 2 if he could have.
I bet he would. I bet he would have.
This run, Brian. Forget the game. Forget the game.
Uh-huh.
The game is so of course it's the biggest game in program history.
Mhm.
But in a lot of ways, it's also so insignificant to me because this has signified something different. This has signified the Cincinnati football program has arrived. We're not going anywhere.
No.
If I talked to a friend, I won't name him. He's been in the media covering football in Ohio, recruiting in Ohio. And he said to me as we were getting off the phone, he said, enjoy this. Like it's the only time that you'll get this. And I was like, really, bro? Like, really? You really believe that? That this is the only time? They've already been here once. There just wasn't a 14 playoff then. And we're about to get a 12-team playoff.
Yeah.
Like,
and we slot in at the top of the Big 12, especially the new reconstituted Big 12.
yeah, well, I mean, Oklahoma State's going to have, there's teams that are going to have their years where it's going to be tough to beat them.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State, Baylor,
West Virginia.
Yeah, there's going to be teams at the top of that league that, if you're not in one of your up years, you're going to be 9-4, 8-3. Like, okay, great. Like, you still had a really good year.
Right.
But to think this is as good as it's going to get for Cincinnati football now, you're not paying attention. You're not paying attention.
Yeah.
And that's what we get from a lot of it is the Ohio State crowd that want to pat you on the head and say,
It's adorable.
Good
Congrats.
good boy, right? No, not good boy. Like, I'm going to bite your ass when you reach your hand down to pet me.
Yeah. That's your deal right there. You're a feral cat out there. You're a junkyard dog. You're on Twitter. You go for throats.
Look, I leave people alone.
Hold on. Are you
Okay,
busting
okay.
square right now?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, I thought I heard it. It's kind of nice to hear it.
It is what it is.
Do you know what ASMR is?
Yes.
Okay, I think you could like ASMR smoking.
Cigarettes? Yeah.
You could put me to bed. Yeah, it makes me feel at ease. It's like a warm hug.
But then I would be like, and then you're up. Then you're
It's
awake.
jarring. That's jarring. Yeah. Yeah, it's not relaxing, that part.
it's relaxing as long as you fall asleep on time. If you have trouble
Yeah.
falling asleep, then
Yeah.
it's a big fucking problem.
Nightmare scenario.
But like,
Here's what I do, Chad. I look at this year, and you know what? And what I'm about to say is going to sound very superficial, um, very, I don't know. I don't care though. Let me tell you, this year has been one of the funnest years of my life. Um, when we went into South Bend, that was special. I mean, that was
yeah, they
truly one of those
dominated Notre
things.
Dame Stadium.
Yeah, that Houston game, I had to leave. I had to leave several times because I didn't want people to say, "Why is B Fox walking around sobbing?" I didn't want to be a grown man walking around
So,
crying,
so
not able to pull it together.
let me tell you the truth. I'm a crier.
Mm-hmm. Only when I'm happy, typically, but yeah.
But yeah, typically I'm a crier when I'm happy. To see that place as full as it was at kickoff, and to see the like dedication to we're gonna get these guys across the fucking finish line.
Mm-hmm.
I stood there and I always Nippert is people don't understand this as much as they should. That's a special fucking place, man.
It's an art installation.
So I always try to make sure, like at kickoff, like right before kickoff, when the team runs onto the field and the student section's going crazy. And this year was unlike any other because that place was full 20 minutes before kickoff. It used to be like, it was going to be full. You knew it was going to be full, but it was going to be like 15 minutes after kickoff.
Yeah.
That place was full 20 minutes before kickoff. And to watch that team run out of the tunnel and for that place to react like that, here's the thing. You know those guys as well as I do. Right? Like that's the special relationship we have from what we do. That means more to them than the fan base will ever realize.
Yeah.
And they ran on that when they run on that field and that place is insane and it's going wild, that means so much to those kids.
Yeah.
And that makes it special, man. That makes it like, this is different. This isn't, Clemson or Ohio State or Alabama and maybe it's like that at those places. I don't know. I haven't been there to cover games.
It's not. And here's why. If there's a different emotional connection between our fan base and our players. We have, and I know, Alabama, the scale is bigger, but you have fewer people who have an organic connection to the university itself. And I think there's less of a connection in those larger fan bases to the individual players. I mean, you will find, in Nippert Stadium for any given game, you will find people who they're Malik Van fans. They love Malik. They watch him play at Fairfield. Yeah, they watch him play at Fairfield. They're familiar with his family.
Think about how much Colerain means to like that community. Watching those kids go back to Goodman and Bird and like Revels, and now you get Pace and Beavers and Javon Hicks, and
it starts in like the Little Cards football program, right? I mean, it's a neat thing and it's a beautiful thing. So, there is I remember one of the neater moments in the last several years during Fickell's tenures when we went up to Ann Arbor. And I remember, hostile territory and Notre Dame had a similar vibe, except
the moment was too big for him.
It was
at that point.
But I remember seeing, these guys that we watch and we know, and there's a level of these folks. A lot of folks don't realize how hard these guys have to work. I mean, they don't realize what kind of sacrifice goes into it. And then they got to go sit in a chem lab, and yeah, they're great athletes, and yeah, they have to be student athletes too. But man, they're funny. Like they're
Yeah.
great hangs, and they each have their own peculiarities. But I remember being on the sod there and looking at some of the guys, and you had a moment where you're like, yeah, this is hostile, but like it's hostile for every Cincinnati fan in here right now.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is going to be so magical about the Cotton Bowl. I mean, let me be a little unprofessional. I've followed Nick Saban for most of his career.
I respect
He
that
is-
guy more than I respect pretty much anybody in college sports.
He's incredible. He's an incredible coach, and an incredible leader of men. And so how about the fact that in one season, we will have played at Notre Dame, and then we will face Nick Saban in arguably the prime of his career. I mean, he's kind of peaking right now because
Yeah.
he's got, I don't know if you saw what he did in the transfer portal, but I mean, he's destroying.
Right.
So they're going to be a national title contender next year too.
Brian, here has been my stance on that. You can't be David if you don't beat Goliath.
Yeah.
You can't beat David if you just beat Steve, like down the street, right? Like
Right. Yeah.
you got into a fist fight with Steve and you kick Steve's ass.
You
Nobody
need a
cares.
slingshot. You need a slingshot, and you need a Goliath.
You have to have Goliath.
Mhm.
I don't want Georgia. I don't want Michigan. Like if it's gonna be proven on the biggest stage, and maybe this will be the wrongest thing ever because Alabama wins, 54-26 or whatever. Like, but I don't care about that.
No.
The point has been proven that UC belongs.
Yep.
They're gonna get 8, 9, 10 players drafted. Like they're gonna show that they are up there in terms of roster builder and construction and like evaluation and talent building and whatever. But if you're gonna be David, you have to slay Goliath.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it also goes towards there's only really one thing I want out of this. The one thing I want out of this is Luke Fickell versus Jim Harbaugh for a national championship.
Wow.
Those are
You
two
remember
dudes
when
that hate each other. Hate
You remember-
each other.
You remember at camp when I asked Luke if
Oh,
he would
yeah.
cage fight Jim?
That's why I just brought that up.
Liked it.
Those
That's
two
great.
guys, there's not two people in the country that dislike each other more or don't want anything to do with each other more than Jim Harbaugh and Luke Fickell.
Well, and Jim is he's tried. You can tell he's tried to clean up his act this year. He's not been on the podium
Sure.
a whole lot.
Sure.
He's been running from it because I think even he knows that he's a clown.
Yeah,
Um,
of course.
or the administration said, "Hey Jim, shut up until
Chill
you beat
out.
Ohio
Chill
State
out,
for
bro.
once."
Right. Shut the fuck up. Like they cut his contract in half.
Yeah,
They cut his buyout. Like they he didn't get an extension. He got a we're gonna fire you contract. If you don't get your shit
got it.
right, we're gonna fire you.
he got a
And he agreed to it
de-suspension.
because he knew.
Yeah, and they're paying him millions of dollars too.
And now
Incredible.
Georgia's got a bunch of guys in protocol. Like
Yeah.
there is a chance that we get to see Fickell
Yep.
versus Harbaugh, and it's really all I want. Like to the core of my soul, I just want to see Fickell versus Harbaugh because
Gosh,
those
I would-
10 days that lead up to that, oh my god,
You go Notre Dame, Alabama, Michigan.
Michigan, yeah,
I mean, those aren't program defining wins. Those are like I don't even know what you'd call it. I mean, those are program defining.
Well,
we
here's
are
what
on
it
the
is,
map,
right?
and
Here's what it is, right? You become the next Clemson.
mhm,
Because
Yeah.
Clemson was
Yes.
a joke. Clemson was a joke for a long time.
Yep.
Clemsoning was the thing, like where they got right to the cusp of things, and
Yeah.
then they pissed down their leg, and they were the
Yep.
laughing stock. UC's never done that, by the way.
Right. Well,
The
Florida
Brian Kelly thing.
yeah,
There were
Florida in
extenuating
2010 was
circumstances. Yeah, there were extenuating.
well, and
circumstances.
in our defense, they did have a legitimate murderer on their team.
Right.
So, really good tight end, though. Really good tight end.
UC
but
also had a legitimate murderer that left to go to Notre Dame.
yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah,
Gusty.
yeah. We're
He's a
just being
gusty killer.
ruthless right now. We're being ruthless. But
Gusty killer.
to get past Bama, like it's not likely. If Bama plays like they did against Georgia, Cincinnati's not going to win.
They won't.
It is what it is. But if Alabama plays like they did against Auburn or Texas A&M or Florida, or like there's a full handful of games where you're like, well, if Alabama plays like that, then Cincinnati can win this game.
Yeah, I think Alabama looks past us. I really do. That's why I don't think they'll play the Georgia game. Well, first off, they knew Georgia. Okay, I mean,
Yeah, of course.
they gotta
Well,
play them every year.
Here was
They
the
know
joke, right?
They know Kirby's tendencies. They know,
Here's the joke,
and-
right? Nick Saban had 14 analysts, guys that weren't allowed to work on anything other than breaking down Georgia. So that when the Georgia game happened,
wow.
those 14 analysts had Georgia broken down. Those guys weren't allowed to coach on the field. They weren't allowed to coach players. They were just Nick Saban hired 14 guys to be like analysts on his team.
Man.
That did nothing but break down Georgia tape.
Man, smart, and he's got
Yeah.
the budget for it.
If you got the money
Great, right?
for it, hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I hope did those analysts get laid off, or are they now analyzing us?
That's what I worry. That's the one thing I worry about is Nick Saban with a month to prepare.
Yeah, me too. Well, what's kind of nice is we certainly have yet to play our best offensive game of football
Right.
this season. We're still, I mean,
Fits and
so-
stops, right?
fits and stops. Yes.
35
And-
points in this quarter, and then no points the rest of the game.
Yeah, and we got and Jerome's got to be healthy, and he's got to be.
Yeah, he'll
You
be
know,
fine.
He sets up so much for us, and we need him.
I think Dez running the ball. This is the game,
well,
right?
We
haven't seen it all year. We saw it for 3 years. We
Yeah,
haven't seen
yeah.
it this year. There's
Yeah.
been a couple games where he's rushed like 10, 12 times. He's been a factor.
Mhm.
But if this is going to be like this is the Des Ridder game where he gets out of the pocket, where the pocket collapses, Des escapes, he gets, 8, 12, 15, 20, 30 yards.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, that's been the thing that's been the Achilles heel for Nick Saban
Mhm.
is a quarterback that takes the rush and then gets out.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, there's first downs.
It's so deflating on the defense
Well,
because you play great,
Yeah.
in the secondary. You eliminate all their progressions throwing the ball, and you've got one spy, right? One your middle backer or whoever's didn't take the tight end, and if they can't get him, it's just
Well,
deflating.
and here's why, right? In a close game, which I think this is going to be a close game, a close, fairly low-scoring game. If you take a possession at the 30 and turn it into a possession at the 45, now, even if you get stopped, you punt, and they're pinned inside their 12-yard line.
hmm
And come get some.
Yeah.
They haven't run the ball well. They have a phenomenal star wide receiver in Jamison Williams, but they don't have Mechie across from him anymore.
hmm
And they don't have anybody really in the slot that
Mhm.
like causes problems. So all of a sudden, if you can control field position with Dez getting a first down here and a first down there, and then you're punting if you have to punt, and they're pinned back and they got to go 90 yards against this defense, all of a sudden we're going into the fourth quarter and it's a one-score game.
Yeah.
And I'm let's go. Let's go. Fourth quarter, one-score game, Cotton Bowl, national title berth on the line. Let's go.
Yeah. So I think about Dez's journey. Like,
Yeah.
you know, Pasadena, California. You know, Hayden has a difficult go first couple of possessions.
First two possessions,
And-
he was terrible. And Luke was
Yeah.
like, that's our guy.
Yeah, well, I think it wasn't until the fumble that it, and you know, you and I were out.
That was
at
the
Camp
second
Higher
possession.
Ground.
That was the
We were
second
out at
possession.
So at Camp Higher Ground, Hayden was like, he was lights out at Higher Ground.
Yeah.
I mean,
Had a
truly
really good
lights
camp.
out. And almost every year, by the way, he had really good camps. And then, you know, and so everybody kind of believed Dez was gonna finally kind of grab the reins, and then boom, you know, he fumbles. Dez goes in the next possession, and what a freaking precipitous climb. Not precipitous in the right word. What a magnificent climb. And, you know, I think, you know, to your point, your comment about Dez running. So I've had a season-long hypothesis, couple seasons long, which is Dez needs to get hit. He's a high idle quarterback.
He's a linebacker that plays quarterback. Yeah, he likes to get
He's a
hit.
high idle. He's got to get hit to settle that engine in. And when he gets a few carries early, especially early in the first and the second half, and I know that we look to do that. And if we can get him outside the tackles and, you know, get him some space, or even, you know, some light tackling,
Right.
just to kind of, you know,
Not
to get
Chase
in the
Young
game
blow
flow.
your season up, but like, you know,
Yes, right.
Will
Well,
Anderson
yeah,
is a concern. Will Anderson,
it's like-
they got to do something
Oh, yeah.
to figure out how to stop that guy, because
Yeah.
the back end is not great for
Mhm.
Alabama. But if
Yeah.
you can, if they get Will Anderson loose, Dez is, it's not great.
Yeah, he's a bull in the china shop.
I mean, I think like it's what you would expect in a Cincinnati Alabama matchup, right? Like the story is in the trenches.
Well, and think about where we were.
Can Majay get
4
home
years ago.
on Bryce Young?
Yeah.
Can
What a
Curtis
fun
Brooks.
matchup that's going to be.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Majay will be on like near Will Anderson much.
Yeah.
He's
Do you think
usually
that
on the right tackle.
Do you think Majay will jump off sides?
Yes.
That's one of the things I love about him. He does try to.
He
time
don't
that
care.
snap.
Like I'm jumping the snap count.
Yeah. It's going to
He'll
pay
be
off
offsides at
more
least
than
twice.
more than it costs.
Yeah,
It'll
at
pay
least
off more
twice.
than it costs us.
Yeah. But I like maybe the biggest name in this game is Curtis Brooks.
Yeah, I think he's so steady, and he's just a brick. Tough guy to move around, and he's pretty great feet.
If he gets heat in the face of Bryce Young doesn't get set back in that pocket and like try to pick things apart.
Yeah.
Like
What I don't what scares me about that is there are certain quarterbacks that they have like a weird, uncanny sixth sense. You know,
and Bryce Young has that for sure.
he does. He's so nifty, and he's got great escapability. It's like he's like a skinny, athletic, non-criminal Ben Roethlisberger. That was a laugh line. You missed the laugh line.
No, I got it. Kelly was just walking.
Yeah.
Hi,
It was a
come say hi.
Roethlisberger joke.
Come say hi to B Fox. Look who I got.
I can't see her. Oh, Hey. Merry Christmas.
He said Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
She's getting ready to go to bed, which means it's 1:30. I should probably get ready to go to bed. And you should probably get ready to put together that drum set.
I'll be at this for a while. Be at this for a while.
Oh, I hate putting things together. for
Here,
Christmas.
you talk here. I'm going to give her the headset. You talk to her for a
Okay,
minute.
get on here, Kelly.
Come on. You got to get on the camera.
Kelly,
Yeah, I used to
Can
hate
you-
putting things together.
can you come put this drum set together? That would be a
You know
huge
what?
help.
I already
You
put a
busy?
drum set together for my daughter years ago. I'm not about to do it again.
You know, honestly, I think this thing is too small. I just don't. The stool is small. I think this was built for smaller kids, and we didn't get the right thing. So I'm gonna put together.
Oh, they're gonna love it.
Yeah, I think so too. I guess that's what matters, right?
That's
Joy,
all that
hope.
matters.
Peace. Christmas is the season, right? Christmas is the giving season.
Now
All right,
that Kelsey's older, we
Kelly,
don't have to put
I-
anything together. It's just all electronics.
Yeah. Are you going down to the Cotton Bowl?
I am not.
You're not. Okay. Yeah. Well, I will take great care of Chad, and I will make sure that he doesn't lose track of Kelsey. And I might hang out a little bit with Chad's dad. He's a good hang.
Fine with me. I'm
There you
home
go.
alone. I'm good to go.
Yeah, you're gonna live the dream. You know, the whole place just to kick it and relax and not have to deal with Chad. You know, trying to beg for
Yeah.
meatloaf.
I got 2 dogs though. They're just as bad.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I like that. That's good and true, and true.
Mhm.
I'm gonna show you Georgia. She's over here. She's taking that little cat nap.
Aww.
She's a very active dog, very athletic dog, elite, very fast. She eats a lot. She eats a lot and takes a lot of naps too. She is balanced, yin and yang.
My dog is whining at the door right now.
There you go. What time will Kelsey get up in the morning?
She says at 8 o'clock. We said 9 o'clock.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
But last year we had to wake her up and she was sleeping in the living room. So who knows?
Oh wow, good for her. That's strong. She's 11 now.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I got one of those. Mine's a boy though, and he doesn't sleep as well as he should. He will in like 3 or 4 years. He's just gonna sleep nonstop, like I expect. But
I'll
so far,
switch
he's
you.
not. Here you go. You want
I want
like
a
the
boy.
sleepers?
I want a
Do you?
boy. I don't want a girl.
A little late for that. Little late for that.
She'll trade one of those boys for a girl. Like for real. She really will.
Yeah, I like to say that girls, you know, they spend a decade just wrapping you around their finger and bonding with them. That's the first decade. That second decade, kind of rough. That 10 to 20 stretch is it can be a little bit of this, but here's the difference. She's going to come back and take care of you guys. My boys, they're going to scatter to the wind. They're not going to worry
Put you in a
about
good
you.
home.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He'll roll me right out to the pier. Yeah. So that is a difference of daughters. They're going to come back.
Yeah.
you
I'm
know,
a little scared of that for the simple fact that we're only 1 year past that decade and we're
Yeah.
already having trouble.
getting a little wild. Girls and their moms, especially those teenage years. Chad, you better intervene. Yeah.
Oh, him intervene, he already has to intervene because she don't
I
listen to
knew
me.
Yeah. Well, he's got to lay down the law.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, I believe that.
Better than
believe
I
that.
do.
Yeah.
She knows not to ask daddy twice, but she'll
She
ask
gives
mommy
in.
twice.
Like she works mommy's ass. Whatever she wants, she knows. I just got to keep pushing, and she'll get it from mom. She asked
There
one
you
time with dad, and I'm like, no, and she's like, all right, well, I'm gonna lose that fight.
Yeah. Dad's stubborn too. Right. Yeah.
So I clearly don't get asked many times.
Right. Yeah. She's not playing the game one against the other. Yeah.
She
Well,
figured that
I-
out too early.
It's time. I think it's
I
time
told
to
her when
take-
she was like 0 years old, tell her no. And Kelly was like,
Yeah.
she's my daughter. I can't tell her no. I'm like, well, this is going to be a problem
Yeah.
a decade from now.
Yeah.
That I'm the only
Well.
one that knows how to tell her no.
Kelly, I think it's time. You got to put Chad to bed. You got to, get out his robe. I assume he's got a number of robes. Lay out the nice one, his nice Christmas robe, and get him a cup of milk. Maybe throw it in the microwave, a warm cup of milk, and let's put that old man to bed.
I don't need him pee in the bed though.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
What the fuck are we like?
I love that he
Headphones
can't hear
back.
this. Yeah.
Jesus. What the hell are we doing here?
Well, I was just telling her that you're old. She's got to get out your robes. I assume that you have several robes, and
She's-
probably get up a
Look.
nicer Christmas robe.
She's the greatest human on the planet.
She's awesome.
Like to go through what she's been through and still have the positive energy and the
And that's just talking about being married to you, right? Yeah.
she should be
alone the-
defeated. She should have
Yeah.
no energy or hope left in her life. She's been with me for 21 years. B Fox.
Gosh, that's
21 years.
what a prison
God, you
term.
make me sound
That's
He
just
said, what a prison term. The fact that here's like kind of the real, if we're gonna have like a few minutes of like reality here.
Let's get reality.
When I envisioned what I wanted this to be like 15, 16 years ago when this started, there's no way it ever would have been possible without her being like, all right, I got you.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. I've met hundreds of kids that have tried to come up in this business, right? And they didn't have somebody that had their back.
Hmm.
They didn't have somebody that was like, all right, I believe in you. Like we're gonna do this. So they didn't make it because they had to go get a sales job doing insurance or selling used cars or whatever. I never had to really do that because Kelly was like, I got you.
Hmm. That's
So I was able to fight through the bullshit.
Yeah.
And we were able, like, we had a, things weren't easy for, there was 7-8 years where I was making $900 a month working full time.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What was
Full
your
time doing
hard-
this.
Okay, so that's going on. You're raking in 900 a month.
Yeah.
What was the hardest stretch that you can recall?
I mean, all of it until
it.
like all of it. Like I had to work like 5 or 6 freelance jobs. I was working at Q102. I was working at the public access station in Northern Kentucky. Like I was doing everything I could to just keep working, right? Like
Yeah.
just like we're gonna figure out a way to make this happen. And there were plenty of times she's like, Chad, really? We're
Yeah.
like you're expecting me to believe in this shit, but like it's not happening, bro. It's not happening.
We keep digging for oil, and I
Right.
don't see any black. Right? Yeah.
So, the crazy part is, as it started to happen, she got sick.
Yeah.
So, as all of this success has like come, where we're finally to the point where the like this is real, like we're a real thing. We have a real community. We have a real like place in this market. Kelly got sick.
Yeah.
But she never backed down. She never like it was never an excuse. It was never like we have to like slow down. We have to do this, we have to do that. It was always, yeah, I've got my meeting with my oncologist this Thursday at 1:30, but you also have your, press conference with the coach this week at 1:30. And I'm like, well, I'm coming with you to the oncologist. And she's like, no, you go do your thing. I'll go do my thing. I'll record it. When I come home, we'll listen to the recording. We'll talk about whatever happened. And you do your work. Imagine, like,
That's cool.
99.9% of people would be like, no.
Yeah. Dude, if I had an oncologist appointment during a presser, I would say, Chad, you got to take me to the oncologist, I think. We're not
I
married.
insisted on taking her to the oncologist. And she's like, no. The only way you're going to build Bearcat Journal is if you're at that press conference. And I'm like, well, I don't want to be. I want to be at the oncologist appointment with you. And she's like, nah, bro. You go do your thing. I'll go take care of this. We'll meet back here, like at the end, and like reconvene.
Yeah.
And she would ask, like, what they talk about at the press conference? I'm like, you don't give a fuck what they talked about at the press conference. And now it's crazy because Kelsey is like all in on the Bearcats.
I love it. Yeah. My kids are so brainwashed. It's fantastic.
I'm so
Yeah,
glad
yeah.
we did this, bro.
Yeah, me too, man. Merry Christmas. I hope you guys
Merry
have
Christmas.
a great
I love you.
morning.
Like,
And
people don't know when I encounter a lot of people, there's a lot of different ways that I encounter those people. Like maybe it's a dap, maybe it's a little like quick handshake. There's only one way I encounter Brian Fox.
no, just
Full-
you jump into my arms, legs wrapped around me.
Full hug, full embrace. It's an embrace when I see you.
Yeah.
There have been times where we kind of like resorted
I'm a hugger.
to like how our normal reactions with people were, and then we're both like, "Oh, that's not how we do this."
Yeah. Yeah. I like to cuddle.
I do too.
Yeah.
And I'm
Just
like,
dudes cuddling with dudes, you know?
hey,
That's what we're doing.
for people to get kind of a little Kelly thing on this, she's the fucking best, man.
She's awesome, man.
She's the
Great mom.
fucking best. Great
Yeah.
mom. The biggest, baddest fucking fighter you've ever met in your life.
Yeah.
She's never put her head down. She's never complained. She's been in this fight since fucking Halloween 2017.
Oh man, what a stretch.
And she's never once been like, this is too, like, I can't, like, how would you be in, fucking 4 or 5 years of this shit? Like, fuck this, man. I'm out. Fuck this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to go lay in bed for 5 days. And you guys can
Yeah.
kiss my ass.
Or I'm gonna go sell t-shirts in Key West.
Right. Like, she's like,
Disappear.
nah, man.
Yeah.
We got to fight the fight. And I got a little girl to raise. And I got a husband that's fucking kicking ass. And we're going to all kick ass together.
Yep.
And it's the most inspiring fucking thing ever.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
Like, you can sense it just in, what was she on the camera for? 5 minutes?
Yeah.
That's infectious. Like, that's what I get every day. I get her. Nah, man, we ain't backing down. We ain't pulling punches. We're gonna kick some ass. And I think the thing that's amazing to me is I truly do believe this fan base has rallied around her to the point that we're like, they gain strength from that.
Yeah. I hope so. Yeah, because there's how many folks are out there silently wading through,
Yeah.
their own personal health issues.
All
and
of them, most of them.
Yeah.
And that's why I've been like, no, we're going to lead this charge from the fucking front, man. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep working. We're going to keep doing everything we can possibly do. And if it inspires somebody, fucking A right.
Yeah.
You go
inspires me.
I love that.
Can I do a hard transition
Sure.
just before we go? How do you feel about these glasses? How do you feel?
I like them.
I'm not sure if they're too artsy, but I'm giving them a whirl.
Are we doing the glasses thing? You want to do my glasses? I got new
Let's
glasses.
see your glasses. Let's see them, bro. Let's both be glasses bros.
So I'm going to need you to see if you pick up on.
Bro, those are sunglasses, man.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, are these like magic glasses?
Yeah.
Can you see into the future in those?
I can say, hey, Facebook, record video.
What is this? Oh my gosh, you just lit up. What are those, man?
They're Ray-Bans
But
that record to video. And then you can put them on the cloud and they can go instantly to Facebook.
dude, this is hysterical. I love it.
How about this, B Fox? Hey, Facebook, stop video.
Your light went off.
I know, because I told it to stop. How about this? Hey, B Fox, you ready? Hey, Facebook,
born
take a
ready.
picture.
This is something else, Chad. This is you. I'm not gonna lie. I think you may have gotten a little carried away here with the sunglasses here, but I dig it. I respect it.
I will say
Yeah.
this. So one of the things I wanted to do for my girls was to get them new sunglasses. And
Mhm.
I'm not stupid enough to think I can buy or pick out the sunglasses they want. Right.
Mhm.
So I took them to a sunglass store and we bought them sunglasses for Christmas that they picked out.
Mhm.
And as I was getting ready to get done with that, I saw these things on a display. And there's a camera here and there's a camera here.
I love you, Chad. I love that you saw Ray-Bans with like cameras attached to them. You were like, "Yep, got to get those."
And I said to the sales lady, I said, "Are those what I think they are?" And she's like, "What do you think they are?" And I was like, "Don't fucking play stupid with me. Those are
It's like
sunglasses with
those are
social
like
media
the-
cameras in them, aren't they?"
Those are
And she was
sunglasses.
like-
Those are like the sunglass equivalent of Lieutenant Dan's magic legs. That's what they are.
So now I have sunglasses where all I have to do is say, like, "Hey, Facebook, record," and it will record whatever's happening in my eyes.
That's nuts, man. You gotta be careful about that. You
I
gotta
know.
make sure you don't
I said
accidentally wear those into the bathroom.
it could be the greatest thing ever or the worst thing ever. We'll see how it goes. These are
Are you taking-
my Christmas presents. Like,
Are you bringing those to Dallas?
yes, absolutely.
Can I-
1,000%.
Here, can I wear them for an hour?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to wear them for an hour, and I would like to do some weird stuff. I'd like to wear them near Saban if I can.
So what I will say is they all go into my cloud.
That's fine.
So
You
I will
can-
have the
well,
ability to
Hold on. You bought a cloud?
Well, that's
You
how
got
they
magic
happen.
sunglasses and a cloud?
Yeah.
Dude,
A Facebook magic sunglasses and a Facebook cloud.
2021's crazy.
I love it.
Did you know? Hey, did you know Santa that was like that? Did you know he would stop? Like, based on that story, did you know he's stopping in people's family rooms, lighting up like that?
I mean, yeah, like if you're gonna eat that many cookies, like you got to toke up a little bit, right? I think he would. Like, I was surprised. I thought he'd be more of an edible guy.
Yeah, Yeah, that would
long
make
burn,
sense.
like a long,
Yeah.
like, you know, like token up, like it's like an hour.
And the pharmacological effects.
Yeah.
You know, he's talking to reindeer, so it makes the
So-
edibles would make a lot more sense.
So I saw Tony Pike's house with his Christmas tree, and they just had giant Santa bags with each kid's name on them. Like, we're no longer just putting the Christmas under the presents under the tree. We're just pretending like Santa comes down, drops a
Drops the
giant bag, and then gets the fuck out of your house. I don't know
But
about
that's
that.
not
I don't
true.
like that.
That's not well. It's not true because he likes to sit, and he likes to sit in your recliner, and he likes to smoke his pipe. We don't know what's in
Yeah.
the pipe. We have no clue.
So at some point tomorrow, I'm going to use these glasses to capture the fact that I have told Kelsey for 2.5 weeks that she's not going to the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
And my dad has a ticket for her. So she's going to the Cotton Bowl.
That's so awesome.
And she doesn't know. And
Yeah.
she's going to lose her fucking mind.
She's
And I
gonna get
can't-
sit. Think about that. Think about, you know, how many folks in the city of Cincinnati, you know, Kelsey's gonna sit in the house that Jerry built
Right.
and watch the Cincinnati Bearcats play Nick Saban's Alabama Crimson Tide. I mean, if that's
You
not
can't,
peak,
you'll never be
so
able
cool.
to take that experience away from her.
yeah,
They might lose by
Yeah.
50. They might lose by, I don't know. I think they have a chance to win. They
Yeah.
also might lose by 50. I don't know which way it's going to go. What I know is my daughter and my dad are going to get to be in fucking Jerry World and experience that together. And that
Yeah.
is like, I'll give a great story before we go.
Yeah.
UC was playing in the NCAA tournament in Nashville, 93, 94-ish. You might be more of a historian on this.
Mhm.
So we woke up in the morning, we got on the road, we drove down 75. We stopped at a rest area about 3 hours down I-75 and realized that the game was obviously in Nashville and we were headed to Knoxville because we stayed on 75 and didn't take 71 to go to Nashville.
Yeah.
So we had to
I can
turn
see how
around.
that mistake can be made.
Yeah. So like we went to the rest area. I was coming out of the
65,
bathroom.
75.
My dad was at the map, and he had this like horrified look on his face because he knew how like upset I was going to be. And I was like, "What's the problem?" And he's like, well, we're in Corbin." And Nashville's
We're
a
in
long way from Corbin. Like Nashville to
Somewhere in
Knoxville.
Gatlinburg.
Yeah, Nashville to Knoxville is pretty fucking close. Nashville to Corbin, that's a long. If we're gonna watch this fucking basketball game, this NCAA tournament game that we had tickets for, we're gonna have to drive back to Cincinnati and watch it in Cincinnati. And I was fucking pissed. But now to be in this place, you know, where I can take my dad to all these experiences and we can, you know, like enjoy it kind of together, not actually together, because, you know,
Yeah.
for some reason they're not okay with me putting in my application, like application, Chad Brendel, Field Pass, owner of Bearcat Journal, Barry Brendel, Field Pass, Chad's dad, and you know he should just be fucking afforded this access.
I take my grandma to all the games. Just wheel her down.
I love it.
And she loves that student section. Gets her going.
All right, man. I gotta go to fucking bed. We got a long day tomorrow. I love you. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
This was
No,
fucking
it's fun.
awesome.
Merry
You're the
Christmas.
best.
All right.
Merry
talk to you later.
Christmas.
See ya.
And I
bye-bye.
appreciate you talking to Kelly for a little while and getting a little bit of her story out there too. You're the best.
She's awesome, man.
Oh, she's way better than me.
Way better. So many ways. Yeah.
Way better. All right. Love you, brother. We'll see you in Dallas.
All right. Love you, man.